that they have in a month, right? So you getting in and staying consistent is really, really important. And I've been doing this Rise and Profit call, I want to say now for 5 years. I need you to be a little quieter, please. I've been doing this Rise and Profit call for about 5 years. And I can tell you right now that, you know, there are times I'm like, I don't feel like it, right? Sometimes you don't feel like doing a presentation. Sometimes you don't feel like, you know, it's a lot of things that you may not always necessarily feel like doing. Hi, baby, can I call you after my Zoom? Okay, baby, bye. There are a lot of things that you may not always necessarily feel like doing, but I promise you, if you stay consistent in what you believe you've been called to do and where you believe you've been called to be, then eventually you're going to have the success that you want to have. But it does not happen without consistency. Shout out to my daughter who just got a brand collab with 3 other Kardashians. And I was asking her about that process. And she said, well, Mom, you know, I reached out, you know, a while back, I don't know, maybe over a year ago, and they responded, we'll be getting back with you. And then reached out again, no response. And then this time, all 3 of them respond. Kris Jenner, Scott, and I think Kylie. And then Kris actually put her on her story, which is a pretty big deal, Kris Jenner. But what am I saying? She had to be diligent for that. Anything that you want to become successful with, you have to be diligent with. Don't ever think that you're just going to, you know, be like, oh, you know, if I feel like it, I will. Or no, you have to make up in your mind. Success is very much a decision. It's a decision. You have to decide, this is what I'm going to do. And so anyway, we know that social media is the biggest marketing tool that we have. And it's just a matter of, like I said, it's about you saying, hey, let me stay consistent, you know, on this, you know, on this journey so that I can continue to build my brand and that people will see me as an expert. See, what social media does is it puts you in a position for people to know what your values are. It puts you in a position for people to know why you're doing what you're doing. You know, it puts you in a really great position. And so social media gives you that opportunity to let them know what you believe in and what you do. I'm gonna have Ben come on in a minute, but before I have my son come on, I wanna tell you now, your social media does not, first of all, you need to schedule a photo shoot. If you have not scheduled a photo shoot, schedule a photo shoot. And I highly recommend that you get, you know, find somebody, like look at their pictures on social media, look at, look at the lighting, look at their hair, look at their makeup, look at their clothes. You might want to say, you know what I'm going to do is I want to use, don't just necessarily, and I'm not asking you guys to go spend a lot of money, but I do think there's a time where you have to say, okay, I got to invest a little bit more. I can't just take my phone and do social media. I need to actually get a real photographer, and then you can also ask that photographer, who do they recommend in terms of their makeup artist, or who do they recommend to style you? I would recommend that you have somebody to actually style you. Okay, don't necessarily, some people have a natural fashion sense, but even if you feel like you have a natural fashion sense, I would still say get somebody to actually style you, right? Because that look is important. And you literally can use these pictures for like the rest of the year. You can just rerun those pictures over and over and over again. So those pictures can also be used to update your website. If you don't have a landing page, you need to have a landing page. Right? That landing page is super, super important. And basically what that landing page does is it gives people an opportunity to come on to see what you're talking about. So if you guys ever notice, when I post things about the business, I'm always usually posting either, raisethebar2020.com, or I will put in text wealth to my community phone number, okay? So I recently did a photo shoot, and so we updated this picture. I was using the same picture for like 2 years. It worked, but then it was like, okay, girl, you've done this for 2 years. So I did a photo shoot with the great Jay Bolin, and so here we go, okay? So we just basically changed this out, join a live event with Jewel. I try to keep that updated with all of my events. So we talk about here, building a digital empire through cryptocurrency, digital real estate, and decentralized finance, okay? Produce additional income through a wealth education platform to increase investment capability. Take advantage of the option to leverage this opportunity to start a home-based business to create residual income. Are you ready to learn more? Okay, so then at this point, they just put their number in, their name, number, email, phone number, and I just use JotForm for this, and the state that they reside in, because what I want to hopefully do is put them in a position to pair them with other people in that particular state or in that particular city. That does not always happen that way, okay? But I definitely try to clump all of my Atlanta people or Georgia people in Georgia, all my Michigan people in Michigan, all my Indiana people in Indiana. Again, it doesn't always work that way. Sometimes somebody will reach out from me from Atlanta that goes to a Detroit leader or vice versa, right? And so you can get somebody to put this landing page together for you. And then there you go. And so, because once people hear you or you put something on social media, you want them to have a place to connect to, okay? Now, on community, you can reach out to community. I think it's community.io. And what that does is when you notice you see people that say like, text such and such and such, text, well to, 313, da, 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 da. They now go into your database. Once they're in your database, every time you get ready to do a presentation, a meeting, a live, that now all those people will be touched and hit. Right. And they can always unsubscribe themselves if they want to. You don't want to, end up, putting too many things out because it can drive people nuts. I've seen people like every day, they be emailing. Most of those get unsubscribed. So you need to do something, I would say once a week, maybe twice a week, 3 times at the absolute max, just so you don't burn people out because everybody is getting a bunch of stuff. Okay. So now let's go over again. You need to schedule a photo shoot if you haven't already done that. Ask that photographer if they have a stylist and a makeup artist, okay? Again, and a lot of times it's cool because you can keep those clothes, okay? So kind of add them to your wardrobe or whatever, and then do your photo shoot. And I recommend not doing it. If you do it on a flat board, she can come. If you do it like on a flat, let's just say a white screen, they can build really cool things around you and things like that. And, that's always really, really dope. You can do that. So yeah, ask them for a stylist, ask them for a makeup artist so that they can do your makeup. And then also ask them about, of course, somebody for your hair. If you're a guy, you don't have to necessarily worry about that or something like that to get you kind of out of your box or out of what you would normally do, right? I'm always using Pinterest and magazines to give me ideas, just to create different looks. I like to play like that anyway. But it's cool to kind of change your look. Those things keep you relevant. If you have the same hairstyle, like year after year after year after year after year, it kind of starts like giving you an antiquated feel. You know what I mean? So those things are important. All right, so that's that. And then work on your landing page. So at the end of every social media post where it is relevant, you can put on there, your website, www.garyjackson, trade with me or tradewithgary.com, right? Or tradewithjoe.com or tradewithauntieJanie.com or whatever you want to do, something that's super, super simple and super easy. So I would definitely recommend doing those things, and you can do it right there in your city. You might say, well, I don't know how to find a good photographer. You could just go on Instagram and like type in photographer maybe and your city, and a bunch of them will come up and you can kind of see their work, right? Because I always like to look at people's work before I determine what I want to do. I scheduled a photo shoot one time and I used somebody and their work was just, the makeup was pasty, it was too heavy, it wasn't fresh and youthful. So I end up having to just trash those pictures. And Gary, I was like, never again. I had to end up trashing those pictures and using the pictures. Okay. All right. So that's it. So I think Ben, I'll let you jump on it. You're going to use your computer? It's up to you. I don't care. I'll mute up.
You look good on the live. We know we look good together and stuff.
I know you're gonna
fresh haircut.
Yes. He's doing so well. Such a good daddy too. Okay, all right. So let's talk about social media because that's a big part of everybody growing their team and getting things in place from videos, pictures, my funnel, and then of course the ad generation. So when you start running ads, that's why you got to make sure all that stuff is in place. I would not necessarily recommend running an ad until you at least have a landing page or website, because you want your whole brand, and not that everything got to be together. I don't know if you agree with that. I'm thinking they need to at least have a website or landing page.
They at least need to have a website, and they need to have at least one team member. And the reason why I say that is because the biggest issue that I run into with people that are paying for my monthly subscription, they're bringing in more than they can handle. They'll run an ad, and let's say if the ad did 40 contacts in a day, you're already busy. You're already busy that day, so you're not calling them. So you paid for these ads. You have 40 contacts, but if you don't have somebody to be able to call these people and not just call them, to actually call them and close them. You see what I'm saying?
So you need to have at least a good core team that you can say, when these ads come in, I'm going to send them to you to help you call.
Yes.
You know what I mean? For example, this week, Tasha's been off, my personal assistant, and I felt it. The leads are coming in, but I've been so busy doing everything else where normally she would distribute them. And I'm not saying that you got to go have a personal assistant right now. Some of this stuff you're going to grow into. But I would say, like you said, you got to have a team to at least help you call. Ideally, at least one or two team members that will help you call. You might be the only one calling. In the beginning, I was the only one calling. I didn't have any team members to do it. And even now, when I give them to team members, I will still sometimes randomly go through and call people. And sometimes people say I never got a call because maybe that team member got too busy and didn't call them, or maybe they called them and didn't answer. You know what I mean? So that part is really, really important because, and I'm gonna let you talk after this, like if you're really serious about going chairman, which I know you guys are serious about going chairman, that's why you're on this call in the morning. This stuff right here is super important, like extremely important. You're gonna have to get these things in play. Otherwise, what happens is you get to a point in your business where you like almost like a rat race and you're not a rat, you know, so you have to sometimes stop. I've learned in my business, there are days where I'm like, I'm not making any calls to 12 because I got to make sure all my leads are together, or maybe I need to schedule my photo shoot. Maybe I need to make sure that I'm ready to scale my business. Okay. Because yeah, you got to scale, especially if you're like, I don't have a lot of people even reaching out to me. Okay, well then let's stop. Let's go back. Let's do the photo shoot. Let's get the makeup done. Let's get the landing page or the website place, right? And then you can start running. But I've learned there are times, and this has been hard for me because I'm like, in Jesus' name, not a workaholic, but, but I've had to learn to like stop so I can grow and scale. And for some of you that are listening to this today, Sheila, you need to stop, implement this stuff so you can actually grow and scale and not just be like, stop, grow and scale. Okay.
All right, people, my name is Benjamin Tankard, for those of you guys who do not know me, and I'm owner and operator of Mass Influence Media. And my ultimate job is helping people start, grow, and scale their business online, and that is through digital and paid advertisement. And today's topic that we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about the 10 Ps that can take your brand and your business to the next level. A lot of times we get started and stuff, and we are very excited in the beginning, but after we've had things come up, issues, we kind of get detoured from the business and weary. And I am the guy that's going to help you get back on track, give you the 10 steps to actually get your business to the next level. And picking up where mom left off at, number one, when I first walked into the conversation, number one is consistency. Mom is synonymous with her industry. When you think of female Bitcoin educators, you think of mom, you think of China, you think of Randy and Wanda Webb, you know. So you want to be synonymous with your industry. Like if they say Bitcoin, they say cryptocurrency, NFTs, people should be able to think of your first name. I'm gonna give you an example, case in point. Let's say when I say who is the top TV show host, everybody put what you think in the chat and let's see how many people have the same person. Well, case in point, you guys are going to say Oprah, you're going to say Ellen, you're going to say Maury, you're going to say, you know, even some people can say Jerry Springer, you know what I mean? But the point of me saying all that is they're synonymous with their industry. And one thing that I can say about mom that I appreciate about her is she's totally right. Whether she's tired, whether she got things that she's doing, she was doing Rise and Profit before it was 200 or 300 people on here. It was times it was 5-10 people on here, but her consistency kept her winning. Her showing up kept her winning. I love the way that mom is very consistent with doing her lives, along with doing Rise and Profit. This is just one live stream that she does a day, but she also does Instagram Live, Facebook Lives. I always see her doing lives with my auntie. She's always trying to figure out how to build her other areas and her other teams. So you guys, if you're not using social media, that is your biggest setback in your draw right there. Before we talk, I'm not even going to go into deep about ads, because the thing is, I'm not going to give you a paid strategy and you're not even doing free strategies. That logically doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Especially when
so they need to start doing lives.
Live, yeah, definitely
Yeah.
lives and doing reels. Our main topic today is going to be live, Instagram reels, and TikTok. Why are we going to stay in this subject today? Because TikTok and Instagram reels are the only place that you can post organically and possibly have from 1 to millions of people seeing it for free. There's no other place that you can get organic traffic. Facebook is not it. So if you think, well, I post on Facebook, let me tell you, posting on Instagram reels and TikTok is getting your information in your business in front of more people than your Facebook. I don't care if you're a Facebook advocate and that's what you do. You can do what you do, but also you have to be able to adapt and change with the market. The way back in the day, all we had was TV, radio, and billboards. That's where our attention was, because that's where the audience for marketing was. Well, now you have a digital billboard, which is in your hand at all times. And you want to be where your target audience is, which is always on their cell phone. You know what I mean? There's no need to get radio right now or billboards, because we're not driving to work. People are still working from home. And then that's radio. And then even as far as when it comes to billboards, people aren't driving on the interstate. So, and then there's no ROI on TV, radio, or billboard. They can say, give me $1,000. And there's no way to actually track the actual proof of what's coming from what you think you're getting. Yeah, baby. That way, I got you. I can get you in a minute.
Do I have to take off this?
Yeah, but no, it's okay, baby. All right. So, all right, you guys. So I'm gonna start off with the 10 P's, and this is gonna help elevate you guys' business and get it to the next level. So please take notes. It'll help your business. Number 1, we are going to start with the purpose and the why. Understanding the goal, the mission, and why you are volunteering or sacrificing to do what you're doing. So why are you in this organization? Why are you around these people? Because once you understand your why, you'll be more patient to the actual end goal of what you're doing. As you've seen, that was my daughter right there. I just want custody of my kids or whatever, but it took me 1.5 years, 2 years to do it. But if not anything, the biggest thing that I learned from that situation in that battle was patience and keeping your eye on the prize. We want things so overnight and instant, and we have to stop that. So number 1, let's write down our purpose. Because once you have a good purpose, you'll never give up. I never gave up on my kids, and now I have them full time now. It works. All right. Number 2, product. So make sure you have a product that is actually that's a winning product, which you guys have a winning product. Like, what are we talking about? Like, the product is there. Ecom, DCX, ECX, Forex, crypto. Like, y'all learn everything that's hot and trendy right now. You guys learn in this organization. Mm-hmm. So you have to figure out what hits home for you. What works best for you? Because the easiest way to sell this organization is being a product of a product.
Mhm.
The reason Mama is Chairman 100, because she's consistent. She's on Instagram every day. She's paying for ads every day. She's building her database to show people, I know what I'm talking about. I'm a leader in this industry. She also is on YouTube. Like I said, in the beginning, pick 2 or 3 platforms that are good for you. I don't suggest you be everywhere. But the thing is, what we've learned how to repackage and repurpose. You know what I mean? I'm recording this live right here on this camera. I Instagram live right here, and Mom's recording it. This is all going to be cut up. This is all going to be put on YouTube. This is all going to be content to be repurposed so I can get people to do marketing with me later. You see what I'm saying? So now I don't have to take time out of my day to create content on marketing, because this live is going to be chopped up into 15 different videos to promote on my page. So the product. First one was your purpose. My purpose was my kids. What's your purpose? Number 2, what is your product? You guys have plenty of products. Pick what product that you can win with. Study and double down. You should be spending at least 30 minutes to an hour a day on whatever product you're majority pushing. Because we live in a world of people want to see you're doing and you're winning. Like, if I'm not winning with marketing, you guys won't listen to me. If Mama, it wasn't a product of my winnings, you won't listen to her to listen to me. That makes sense. All right. Number 2, you have to have a plan. A lot of you guys don't have a plan. You guys sign up and you don't have a strategy. Yeah, we understand to get to, but how do you properly want to build? You'll get 2 or you'll get 4. But Mom just mentioned, if you're in a process of getting leads, you may have people below you that don't know how to get leads, or they don't have a big clientele of people to speak to. So the thing is, if I was you, I would train up my 1 and 2 to be able to take the phone calls for the leads. You have to understand, when you pass these leads down, when they win, you win.
And you may have to like spend a day. Sometimes when I'm training somebody, I'll have them on the 3-way while I call. Like, you guys know, we've done this several times where I'll just start calling right there, put it on speakerphone, let you guys hear how I handle objections. You got to be patient, because sometimes people are going through something and they want to, kind of tell you their life story, and you can be empathetic with that. And then, go ahead and reroute them back to why they originally reached out to you. And then sometimes you'll find out they're just not a good fit right now. Maybe they're just, it's just way too much going on in their life, or maybe there's enough that you can push them and say, no, this is why you need to do that. So you might have a day where you say, hey, we're going to do calling parties. I know my sister and I were strategizing about her getting a chairman 10 and then 25 and 50 by the end of the year. And she was saying one of the things she's going to do is she's going to have to start having 2 live meetings every week. And an hour before those live meetings, sitting down with those leaders and maybe doing calling parties, calling with them, or maybe them shooting content on a reel to be able to post together. So it's definitely things that you can do with your team where you guys are kind of all growing together. And that's why I wanted to do this call today on social media, because I know that a lot of you guys have been super faithful and you do have a big why, but now it's like, okay, where am I in my business and where do I need to be? Is my website together? Do I have a photo, have I done a photo shoot? How often am I going live on Instagram? In particular, Instagram is a really good one. If I go live on Facebook, I always use StreamYard. So that way it goes to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So now, like he said, now you become a synonymous with crypto. So when people think about LaToya Mitchell, they think, oh yeah, that's that digital empire chick. That's how you want people to think about you. And social media can definitely help you to start to create that narrative. Okay.
Oh, she killed it. Okay. With Mama saying that, we're going to go to the process, because now that you know your why or your purpose, now that you have your product, now that we know that we need to create a plan and a strategy to execute this, is going to be the process. So one thing that a lot of you guys probably don't know about Mom, in the beginning, when Mom first started her first 2 years, she literally had a meeting in this house every week. And I mean, we was tired of it. Daddy was tired of it. She was literally promoting having strangers come to the house. Well, I suggest you guys do it a little bit different, because the world is different nowadays. But realistically, she would have the living room packed out, 30, 40 women, and she would have live parties. In the beginning, it would be the presentation, so that they would present, and then on the back end, it would be basically you guys are trading and are helping you guys set up your demo account, helping you guys set your accounts up. Well, maybe some of the people that are signing up are unsigning up because you're not fully walking them through. Maybe you're just signing them up and that's it. Maybe you need to have these parties and actually show them how to input their first trade. You know what I mean? Yeah, they maybe have a demo account, but I done heard from one of my clients, one of the people was on a demo account for a month and a half, 2 months. And she's saying she wants to go to a real account, but because you ain't walked her through to get to a real account, she don't know how to get to a real account. Understand, these people do not know nothing when they're coming in this. So you're basically the one mentoring them and walking them through. Let's just say, oh, well, I don't have time. This is a part of our processes. If you don't have time, you need to create YouTube videos that are screen record that have a walkthrough process. This is how you set a demo account up. It takes 5 minutes. Save it. So now when you have somebody new, you can send them that video. That's a part of your process. Okay. Now when they get past that, I'm ready to get my main account. Do another screen record. Now it gets them to setting up their real account. Now, before you go live, we'll all do a live party. Everybody should be doing at least 1 or 2 trading parties a month where they're actually just sitting with their people and we're trading together as a team, as a community, as a group. You know what I mean? That actually helps build the stamina.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal. You know what I mean?
It's a big deal. Having those live sessions, and I think I told you guys, when I did Detroit last month, and then I did Baltimore, it really kicked off. And it reminded me like, yeah, we gotta go live. So April, and then also, I don't know, for those of you who follow me on social media, you might notice, maybe we was, just asking, where be it? We basically, we looked at, oh, this is the other thing. And I think I mentioned this to you guys, but repetition is good. When you do events, as soon as you get the date, put Eventbrite on there. Eventbrite definitely helped us have a great turnout in Detroit. We did 3 nights back to back. I'm about to do the same thing in Detroit. So put this down if you have anybody in the area, April 20th, 21st, and 22nd. And then also Baltimore, Maryland. I'm going to be going to Baltimore. And so that'll be a great time for you to, if you have anybody in that area, but we're doing the same thing, really dope flyer. And then we're doing Eventbrite to it too, right? Now, like today, I packed my day out. I'm doing the corporate call today at, let me see, what time? That's my phone over there?
Yeah, it's right there in front of us.
My phone is over there. Okay, I'm doing the corporate call. Let me tell you guys. I'm doing the corporate call today. I think I'm doing it at 2 o'clock. Then I have a live I'm doing with Sean Strickland on building a digital empire. Okay. And then I'm also doing, so I'm doing a live today. I'm doing the corporate call, overview presentation, and then I have a call with Pastor Melva's team. So my day, literally all day, is back to back to back to back. That's how you need to make sure your schedule is. And while you're doing all of this, capturing those little moments to put on your story, capturing, because now again, like Ben said in the beginning, now you become synonymous. My husband is synonymous with jazz. When people think of jazz artists, they pretty much think of Ben Tankard. He was the godfather of gospel jazz. And so now he's in those circles. So when they think jazz concert, they think Kenny G, Gerald Albright, Ben Tankard. So all the jazz stuff he gets calls for because he's been so consistent. The same thing will happen with you. As you are consistent, eventually people will see, oh no, this is not just a fad. This is not just something they're doing. Like, this is like for real, for real, for real. Okay. So yeah.
All right. Okay, you guys. So make sure that you guys have the processes in place. Number 1 was purpose. 2nd was product. Number 3 was plan. Number 4 was the processes. So let me name some of the processes. You guys, make sure you have a landing page. A landing page is where you're going to drive the traffic to after you get done speaking to them, because you want them to have somewhere to land. If you don't have a website, that's fine, but having a jot form that has a nice basic picture, the way Mom showed you earlier, giving basic information, or even with a video on there, is good. So that way, when you call them and follow up with them, they kind of have more information besides the live and just signing up. And be direct, you know what I mean? Don't waste your time. Don't waste nobody else's time. A lot of times, a lot of people get discouraged when they're making these phone calls, but you're making these phone calls to talk to people that are interested and wanting to grow and learn about money. The ones that aren't, you can be respectful. And mama is the most gracious person I know. She will get off the phone with you like that. It'll be, you're no respectfully that she's trying to hang up, but you know, our time is limited in the day. So make sure you have the job form. Also, another reason that's good with job form, these name, numbers, and emails, it is very vital because you're building your database. When you pay for radio, when you pay for TV, when you pay for any marketing, you're paying for somebody else's data. You're paying to put your information in front of their audience. Well, when you collect your own data, if Instagram goes down again for 2 days the way it did last year, or anything happens, you now can contact them directly. Mom has over like 5,000 emails that if anything happens, she can send them a direct message to say, go here, go there, go there. That's the main reason. And then also she mentioned community. Community is one. I know community is more expensive, but it's perfect. It's a great tool to get the job done. If you can't afford community, you can do easy texting. Easy texting will charge you by the text. Community is by the month. So that's just some tools you guys need. Also, you guys should have MailChimp and Klaviyo. Those are both different mailing platforms. Mom uses MailChimp or whatever. MailChimp is where you'll be sending out the emails from. These are all tools that are part of the process. So make sure you taking these notes down. So MailChimp. Another vital thing about email, you guys should be creating 2 to 3 nourishing emails that go out in a sequence flow over 2 to 5 days after you've collected that information. So Mom's on the live. Hey, you guys, if you want more information, make sure you go to Rise of Profit and give me your information. They go to Rise of Profit. They see her picture. They give the information. All right. Tasha calls them. Hey, I see you guys were interested about learning more about making money. Tasha gives the spiel. She's not selling. She's giving them the benefits of the product and driving them to come to Alive. After she hangs up with them, they will receive a text from community to remind them about going to that live. Then they are then put inside Mom's email sequence where they'll get 3 emails that'll go out nourishing. Hey, you guys, thanks for being part of the Jill Tankard Network. If you don't know, this is who I am, and this is what I stand for, who she is. Second email, did you know going on in the market right now that cryptocurrencies X, Y, and Z, you're giving information to really push them over the ledge. The third email, join me live as I run this discount on our products or sales that we have going on, boom. So now you didn't just get their name, number, and email, you actually nourish them into buying and purchasing from you. People have to trust you. And remember, this goes back to being synonymous with our industry. You know, when you have more content out there, you're more trustworthy.
Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. And so, like you said, the website, it allows you to create a database because that's what you want to be doing, creating a database. And then also I want to encourage you guys, when you're onboarding people, and is working on a corporate onboarding, because I know all of us have separate ways that we onboard. So I'm really looking forward to corporate actually putting that together. But I also want to mention to you that while you're waiting, getting people who are starting to trade and making money and stuff like that, I highly recommend that everybody get set up on Coinbase and they set up on autosave. I think when a person, no matter if it takes them a month to start making money trading or 6 months to make money to start trading, when they can actually see, when they can actually see like, oh my gosh, wow, I accumulated, I got on autosave with Bitcoin, $50 a week. And now 4 months have gone by. Now I've accumulated, $1,000. So I think them setting up Coinbase is really important because it allows them to be able to really see like, oh, I'm a lot more further than I would have been had I not. So I put everybody on autosave for Coinbase, whether they can do a bi-weekly, monthly, or weekly. And again, it doesn't have to be a large amount of money, but it's just in the consistency. That's how real wealth is developed. And I was buying large sums of crypto last year. And so I'd taken myself off of, off of autosave. And so January, as I was kind of assessing everything, and I was like, hey, wait a minute, you need to get your butt back on autosave because I did that last year, but now we're in a new year. So let's, come on now, get back on autosave because you guys know, right, before we know it, we'll be talking about jingle bells, to be the end of 2022. So how we spend our time is really important. And again, sometimes you have to slow down just a moment, get these things in place to speed up, or at least start putting a little bit every day. Schedule your photo shoot today. Maybe tomorrow, update your profile pic. Some of you need to update your profile pic. You've had the same, Facebook, Instagram profile pic for maybe 2 or 3 years, and that is kind of like, people get bored with seeing those new pictures. I see Boston and Beige just got on here. They do so well on social media. As well, but update that profile pic, make sure that website is updated. Make sure you get all your new people on Coinbase, autosave, so that way they feel a sense of advancement as they're moving forward. And then, when you schedule that photo shoot, like I said, get a stylist, get a makeup artist, ask that photo shoot, whoever does your photo shoot, look at look at the gram that they have and see whose pictures are on there, because if you don't like their pictures, then don't do it. When I go somewhere and I say, okay, we're going to do a photo shoot, I'm looking to see how that content looks. If that content is relevant, is popping, it don't look like, you've seen some pictures. We literally saw this recently. This is a really precious couple, but they had on these old school suits with the velvet in the back, and it was just super old school. And I was like, wow, I wish they would have had a content person, because the stuff that they were saying was actually really, really good, but they just look so dated, and they obviously didn't know they looked dated, because they wouldn't have showed up like that. So sometimes you got to have people in your life that'll kind of say, hey, let's try this dress, let's try this suit, let's try, this lighting, or this is a new lens, to really make sure that you get yourself together. So I want to get ready to open up for questions. We've been on here for 42 minutes already. I do have the recording. I am going to send it out. I hope you guys took good notes, and hopefully this helps you to kind of chart out what you need to be doing for the rest of March. For myself, I had the photo shoot done. We did a lot of updates on my website, which is great. But now for me, going back and making sure that, because Tasha's been off all week and I can tell, just getting caught up on messages and things like that. But like Ben said, don't be afraid. And I talk to you guys about this all the time. Don't be afraid to say, you know what, I really got to get an assistant. I'm going to keep talking about it to all of you, because your level of effectiveness and productivity, you are probably just scratching the surface if you don't have help. And you know what? You might say, I'm just not in the place financially that I can do that. And I respect that. But put a demand on yourself to say, you know what, by May, by June, I have to have it, because sometimes you can't really scale.
I'm gonna give you guys a cheat code real quick. I'm gonna go through 6 of these. I'm gonna mention them. If you guys want detail, hit my DM up. But number one, what she just mentioned about an assistant. Everybody can afford an assistant. This is free game. Go to fiverr.com. Everybody knows what Fiverr is. Go to fiverr.com and hire you a virtual assistant. When you have the virtual tab, make sure you get you a virtual assistant in the Philippines. Why the Philippines? Because they charge $4 to $5 per hour to work for you. That is a lot of money to them. And then also they have integrity in the Philippines. And then number 3, they speak the best English in the Philippines, just in case they need to make some phone calls for you. That's why we choose the Philippines. There are other ones, but the Philippines, those are my 3 facts of why. I have a virtual assistant that auto posts for all my clients. I tell them what to do. They execute, or you need somebody to send you emails. You give them the template. They'll come in, they'll get that out. All right, let's rush through these P's. This is 10 P's to build your branding of business. The first one was purpose, product, plan, process. That's the first 4. I'm gonna give you the next 6. Number 5, people, having the right support system. You guys are around the right support system right here. You need to leverage off of each other. There are over 100 people in here. If you want to grow your impact, your business, and your brand, network with people on here and do a live with somebody on here. The biggest way Mama drives traffic, she does lives with high traffic people. That's like, we'll go back to the example of with Oprah. She does interviews with high level people, which when she comes in and she interviews them, it then brings her more high level fan base because they were on her show. Same thing for you, got to get you more clients. All right. Number 6 is the perception. Having the right image, branding, and messaging is everything. That goes back to what Mama said. Go back, do a photo shoot. It takes 1 day, an investment of $150, do batch content. knock it out. You need a new look. All right. Number 6 is going to be promotion. Make sure you have a marketing strategy of how you're going to execute to get to the next level. If you're just not getting to social media, you don't have to dive straight in. Come up with a day that you're going to go live 2 times a week, and make sure you're promoting every day that you're going to go live those 2 times a week, and make sure you already have your theme, your topic, or whoever you're going to go live with. It makes a difference. People will tune in when you tell them to tune into. But all that just going live, it's cool, but
it's better when they know it's coming.
It's better when they know it's
You'll
coming.
have a better following. Okay, Ben, you can hurry up.
All right.
I gotta ask questions.
All right. Placement and protection and profit. Basically, make sure you're promoting in the right places where your audience is. Okay, protection. Protection, this is the biggest thing. Key performance indicators. Know what's driving your business. Mama said she looked at her numbers in January. She knows her numbers because she has a key performance indicator. She has ads, she has email, she has text messages, and she has where she's at in her business. And the number one thing is profit.
Yeah, that's good. And honestly, had I not put all these things in place, I wouldn't have a funnel of leads constantly coming. If I pulled up my job form right now, you would just see, Chicago, Michigan, but if I wouldn't have that stuff in place, it wouldn't be coming. But I also had to have the landing page of the website. And again, I don't want you guys to get overwhelmed. Just make an outline, like a task list, like I do every day, a task list of all the stuff that I have to get done. And doesn't mean you're going to do everything in that day, but at least hey, over the next 30 days, these are going to be the things that I'm implementing. So I can make sure I get this stuff done. So he did great.
You guys, any questions? I'll answer.
Yeah, questions. Any questions?
I will answer them. And then also, if you guys want to come to one of my lives, I have a live this Saturday. It is called Content to Cash. I basically go through this whole breakdown of all these 10 pillars, and I actually walk you through MailChimp, and I actually walk you through creating TikToks and Reels. So we're actually doing a one-on-one showing you guys how to actually find the content, find the Forex stuff, and then grow from there. So I will put my link in the bio, and you can get your ticket for the conference. But ask your questions now while I'm putting the link. So
any questions?
No, that's the only thing I wanted to say is to make sure you put it in the chat for the new people, Ben, because a lot of people don't have your stuff.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Don't be shy.
Yes, I wanted to ask, this is Pastor Sherry. It was, oh, wow, you're doing such a phenomenal job, Dr. Jewel, and also Jess. But you said something about how do you connect with the Philippine people to help, get your material out?
It is Fiverr.com. That is FIVERR.com. And when you go to the site, just type at the search engine, put virtual assistant. It's gonna pop up a whole lot. Don't get overwhelmed. Just go to filter and filter the Philippines, and go ahead and put your budget or your price range, and it'll sort everything by that, and then just write them like, hey, this is the task that I need done, and they'll tell you if they can do it, and you pay through the website, so you're not getting money taken, and you're good.
Okay, thank you so much. Blessings for you both.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Yes, hi, my name is Anita. My question is, I love the content. Thank you guys for sharing all the information that you provided, but I have more than one business. I'm in real estate, I'm in life insurance, I do IM Academy, and then I also do jewelry on the side. So like selling jewelry. So how do I mean, that's a whole bunch of stuff. And I know that you want people, I do lives every week. Those are helping. So I interview people every week. But what would you recommend that I do? Because I got so much stuff going on advertising.
I would say I just put my class inside the chat. I would advise you to attend the class because you're a serial entrepreneur. You have a lot of things, but you have to make yourself synonymous with the thing, and then people go and grow from there. Like, for example, I'm on a mass influence media, and my ultimate job is to help people start, grow, and build brands. Well, what else do I do? Well, I've imported food trucks from China. I do e-com drop shipping. I've made over 10 grand doing e-com drop shipping, you know what I mean? But everything that I do has to be revolved around marketing. You can't do drop shipping without promoting. You can't do investing in affiliate program without promoting. You know, everything revolves around that. And then when you come to the class, we actually break down different tools and elements where you can house that under one umbrella. So that way, if this is what you do and these are your main things, and everything else is just subtitles, because I know you're not promoting all that every day. Oh man, good job, mama.
Right. Thank you.
So I would say this. I think you got to narrow down. I think you got to become a master of one thing first. So you have to find out, okay, where do I really want to be? Because you might say, you know what, I'm gonna put real estate on the back burner and make IM my sole thing, or maybe vice versa. But I would just talk about one thing where social is concerned until you become, like a brand with it. Because then after that, you can go into other things. But sometimes people have too many branches too early. I remember when my husband wrote his second book, Full Tank, and it was published by a big publisher. He has the same publisher with Bishop Jakes and Dr. Phil and Joel Osteen. And, I was so proud of him. And I remember asking the publisher, like, oh, I got a book I want to do, on wealth and stuff like that. And they said, Joel, we definitely see you, but you need some more brand establishment. And I was like, oh, so in other words, you can self-publish a book if you want, but in order for us to take you on as a client and pay you and put you in Barnes and Nobles, you got to wait. You're going to just keep drilling down and become bigger, if you will. And then, the time was right last year and we did it, and it was very successful. But sometimes we go out prematurely. So I would say you got a lot of things going. And then I would also look and see what needs to be cut. I mean, just hearing all that stuff, I would say jewelry would be something. If I had to cut something out of that, it would probably be jewelry. Look at the profit margin on everything. Look at the time spent. Like, how much time do I have to spend towards this thing? And then what is the profit towards this thing? Because most entrepreneurs never become wealthy because they run too thin. You know what I mean? Just because you have a lot of things going doesn't mean that all those things are profitable. I share with the team, we turn mine off, please. I share with the team that I shut down my Airbnb because when I looked at the numbers, it looked pretty. We had this whole Chanel theme. It was dope. It was in Buckhead, Atlanta. So, on the outside, it looked like, oh, you popping. But when I looked at the profit and loss statement, my profit after all the expenses was only $40. So I sent the guys down there to clear it out because it didn't make sense. So sometimes something can look good, or it can be trending, or it can be popular, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's profitable. So I always say, look at what's profitable. I spend, even though I have many other entities, I spend the majority of my waking hours centered around IM, because no other entity that I'm involved with right now, no investment or business at this current moment, has matched my Chairman 100 check. Let's be clear. So you might say, well, I'm not Chairman 100 yet. Yeah, but you're going to get there by focus. You're going to get there by drilling in and leaning in. So I would probably cut out some of those entities, settle on one thing that really you like. Oh, I really see, because I'm a bottom line girl. I don't just do stuff just because. Some people just do stuff. I like that. I like that. You can like it, but is it profitable? Is it giving you the results that you want? Just like sometimes people are writing a book, and that's dope, but books, you can make really good money from them. I've been really blessed, but it's also more so for brand establishment, so that whatever you do is big. So I hope that helps. Some of you guys got to narrow down, go ahead and plant your flag. I'm gonna always choose IM because I think there's very few things that can supersede, and I'm a real estate investor, but very few things can supersede that kind of consistent money hitting every single Friday, okay? All right, great. So guys, listen, this has been good. We're right at 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Get your team, or not your team members, but get your prospects on the line. Ben, thank you so much. You did so good, honey. So you guys have a great day today. And I would look at seeing you on the 2 o'clock corporate call with your prospects. Get them on. Love you guys. Bye.
Is that Eastern or Central?
Bye, thank you.
I'm gonna put it in the chat.
Thank you.
Thank you. Love you guys.
Copy
Thank
them
you,
notes.
Ben. Great job,
Copy them
Benji.
notes.
Great
Thank
job,
you.
Benji. Great job. I
Thank
love you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love you. Blessings to the max. Just phenomenal.